Okay, we're hopping into Superman, All-Star Superman number 7. Woo! 7 and 8. Well, I guess we're doing 7 and 8. 7 and 8 are Bizarro stories. If you already haven't had enough Bizarro, here's more. Let's get into it. So we start with Quentin and his assistant in space. Well, I guess they're in the Underverse, but she starts like, "There's no sign of our missing Bizarro technician. What are we gonna do, Mr. Quentin? We're too close to the singularity for comfort." And he's like, "Yeah, I know, this is awesome, but yeah, we need to go scale us up before we get flattened to a smear." And we see that they can't explore the Underverse because the conditions are too bad. And we see the planet in the background. It's just a giant cube Earth instead. But they say that they see a life form coming towards them, something big. Something is getting closer. And then we have Superman releasing his Sun Eater out into space. And he's like, "Goodbye. Goodbye, little pet." And then he flies. And a bunch of Bizarro Supermen come and just knock them on into their world. And we see a giant Bizarro Earth. Instead of a instead of a sphere, it's a cube. No world is flat. So it looks like the Bizarros have came to our world and taken Superman, and then they stayed on our world. Yeah. Superman goes on theirs, they come to ours. Yeah, whatever. So we go back to Metropolis where they're all at a little dinner, and Jimmy's like, "Guys, look outside. Like, what is going on?" He's like, "We need to get everybody to the roof. I'm serious. Like, everything's exploding." And they're like, "No, it's just a meteor shower. It's okay." So this thing comes in and absorbs this lady, and she's like, or it's like, "I am Bizarro." So yeah, she turns into this thing, and it's like a slime creature, and then infects the other lady also, and they just go around infecting everybody. Bizarros infecting Bizarros. So we see Lombard sit there, and he's like, "Oh, the thing touched me. I'm immune to it. It didn't do anything to me." Throw it out the window before when it charged at him. And Jimmy's like, "Superman's not responding." And he's like, "Superman, I just saved everybody." And he's like, "I don't understand what's going on. Like, where's your pal Superman when we actually need him?" And then we see a Superman come in. And the kid's like, "Oh my God, it's Superman." And he's like, "No, me am Bizarro. I'll be your friend." And then the real Superman comes back. The real Superman got off of the Bizarro world and jumped into our world again. And we'll see in a minute, like the worlds are basically right next to each other. But he's like, "Everybody get in the library." And the Bizarro Superman has the opposite powers that Superman has. So instead of freeze breath, it's got hot breath. Got cool vision, whatever. I don't know. It's not laser vision, but whatever. But Superman's like, "I got some new powers. I'll try them out." He's like, "I don't understand. You guys have never been organized or hostile as this before. Like, what are you doing?" And he's like, "I'm not want to fight. Want all of you no become the Bizarro." He's like, "I don't want you guys to become Bizarro." So Jimmy and his crew running up the stairs. The Bizarros are still chasing them. They get onto this little blimp. Happy holidays. So while they're getting on, Bizarro Superman gets punched in the face, flying up, teeth gone. But Jimmy calls Quentin, and Quentin's like, "Why are you calling me, dude?" He's like, "Listen, what's going on is this is a planet eater thing. They're trying to mimic us, appear less threatening. They're weak to the sun. That's why they're only attacking places that are night right now. But for some reason, they're copying the Earth also." He's like, "I'm afraid we have a problem of our own right here. I can't help you out, Jimmy." So Superman comes and saves them, puts them down, and then Lois is like, "Superman, what are you doing?" He's like, I had to release my Sun Eater back into the cosmos before he outgrew the fortress." He's like, "These new Bizarros attacked me while I was out near Mars. This is a desperate situation. I'm only one man." So while they're talking, Lombard's like, "Hey, by the way, I'm immune." And he's like, "Oh, really? Let me see why." And he's like, "Oh, well, I don't know if I'd recommend any of those performance pills you take, but there has to be a faster way to get these Bizarros to die." And Jimmy's like, "Yeah, I learned from Quentin that the sunlight weakens them. It's like, if we just get them to the sun." And he's like, "Oh, Great idea. I got it. The big oceans, if they were moved to the correct position, they can reflect the sun and then they will die. But we see that the cube world, as they call it, is already affecting the tides and the weather as it's already too close. So, Superman's like, this calls for direct action. I've been fighting this invasion force as a single organism, just another big monster. And Lois is like, it's okay, just come back to me. And he's like, I will. Here is the formula for a Bizarro repellent. Hopefully it works. I don't know. Bye. And then we see him just smash into a mountain range, and then the whole cube world blows out the sun, and then all of these Bizarro things die. Jimmy explains it that it's crawling back into the Underverse, licking its wounds. And they're like, what happened to Superman? And Superman is stuck on their planet. So the Bizarro Superman shows up and he's like, I'm beat. We no fight. And he's like, I don't know. He's like, you mean not to fight? Like, it's over? Like, you're done? You guys are gonna leave? And Superman is like, your world is burrowing into the cosmic sink beneath our universe. That's why the sunlight is receding to the red end of the spectrum and the gravitational pull is increasing. And Superman can't leave. It's like, my powers are already fading. Bizarro, I need your help or I'll die here. And Bizarro's like, that's not good. He's like, but I can't help you, Superman. And then we meet somebody else. And he's like, who is that? And he's like, call me Bizarro. That's the end of that one. But before we head in, by the way, I just want to say this art is beautiful. And I love that the red sun is a cube also. But all right, we'll go into issue number 8. And I like the one on the left, Superman, reminds me of a Mr. Miracle costume. I know it's not Mr. Miracle. Obviously, it'd be a really random. Out of all these superheroes to show up in a Superman comic, Mr. Miracle would be a random one. But, yeah, whatever. So they're like, Bizarro, this is not getting anywhere. We're going to die. He's like, there has to be something worthwhile in this garbage heap. He's like, don't you guys make things? And Bizarro's like, no. Usually we do not. He's like, the planet speaks through all of these new Bizarro things that are here, except for me. Our home is afraid you'll hit it again, and is forming new Bizarros from your memory as a way to pacify you. Surely, with all your superpowers, you could just fly away. And he's like, no, I can't, man. He's like, the red sun is making me stay. He's like, I don't know what to do. And he's like, dang. But me, Bizarro, I explained to you that 1 in every 5 billion Bizarro copies is born flawed, imperfect, and an aberration. I am one of those 5 billion. Please tell me you understand, Superman. I am alone here. There's no one to talk to. I'm like, these people suck. He's like, can you even imagine what it's like to be different, unlike anybody else? He's like, only I understand the beauty of a sunset. Only I look for poetry and sense of what's going on in this place. He's like, I'm trapped with you, Superman. He's like, cursed to return to the frozen sludge like all the others when all night comes. And then we hear a voice that say, me have planned for puny Superman. And Superman's like, who is that? Is that my dad? Bizarro Jor-El? And he's like, no, his name is Lee Raj. But yeah, he wants to build a plane again, basically the same way that Superman got sent to the Earth. Superman's like, my dad died when Krypton exploded, but like, do you guys just do the opposite of us? And he's like, no, the reason that this guy's not gone is because our planet never perished. Like, it doesn't matter. And the Superman's like, what a nightmare. This sucks. He's like, I need to build this spaceship that took me from Earth to Krypton. The only person capable of doing that is Lee Raj. But Bizarro's like, how are we going to do that? Like, at night, everything goes away. He's like, this is impossible. And he's like, no, but we have to try it because there's nothing else we can do. And then we cut to Lois and Quentin together. And Lois is like, have you located Superman? And he's like, yeah. He's still on the Bizarro world going down into the universe. He's like, it's a weird basement level of our universe. But he's like, I think only Superman can survive those ferocious conditions, but he can't do it for long. And Lois is like, oh, but he told me he was more powerful than ever. And he's like, I guess he didn't really want anybody to know, but yeah, he is dying. And Lois is like, Luther did this? And he's like, yes. Sorry, Miss Lane. I think that you deserve to know the truth, and I feel like Superman should have told you, but when he rescued us from the sun mission, he was exposed to more solar radiation than he can process. He's dying. So we're doing what we can to try to replicate it for when he's gone, so that we are not alone. But Lois is like, that does make sense. That's why he's been telling me the truth and everything, and Clark's been going on more vacations. And Quentin is like, during a fine scan of our solar probe data, we find something else disturbing. It's hiding in the sun. There's a person there. I hope he's finding a way back. I say this looks like a job for Superman in the future, though. Then we cut back to Superman, and he's like, everybody grab some garbage and put it on this little trolley I made. It's got a wheel and everything. He's like, a wheel like this can roll heavy pieces into place. Your planet wants me to leave. This is how we do it fast. And then the Bizarro Superman's like, this is a wheel. And then Superman sees how stupid these people are. And Bizarro's like, I tried to tell you, man, like, these people are dunce caps. They don't understand it. And he's like, oh, yeah, you're right. He's like, maybe I have this way I can try. He's like, if they don't, they have, like, I got to talk like them. He's like, me am no one, you am listen. And then they're like, oh, we got to listen to this guy. He's like, I have nothing to say and nothing you want to see. I don't offer you chance to be good. I'm offering you chance to be good for nothing slobs. Me no offer Bizarro civilizations a chance to make monument to last a lifetime. He's like, me am no say you all to work to build fireworks. Sit and wait all night. Fireworks am totally non-constructive waste of time. So then they start building the rocket for him because they have no idea what's happening. And I love that they put a little sign. They took the time to put a little sign on Bizzaro that says Bizarro's #1. Because this Bizzaro is like, I am the mayor of Bizarrotropolis. And he's like, oh, that's good. But Superman is getting way weaker the further he gets away down into the Underverse. He is starting to not even be able to walk. And then this is when Bizarro's like, the greatest anti-heroes of Bizarro Cube, no help volunteer, Superman, the No Injustice League. And Superman's like, oh gosh, take me to them so they can help me, I guess. And Zabaro's like, I can't bear to hear you talking like that. Like, please don't do that. And then we see the Injustice League, Bizarro Green Lantern, no have ultimate power ring, can make it real, what am no think of. Only trouble is, me am never able to think of anything. We have the Flash. Me am Bizarro Flash. No have top speed of 2 inches per hour. That's his secret weapon, is that he's slow. And then we have Wonder Woman. Bizarro Wonder Woman. Oh, all she is just a clay statue. She never became a real person right now. It's a shame we don't see anybody else, but the Bizarro Green Lantern is by far my favorite. I love that he's got the power of unimaginable things, but he just can't think of anything. I'm a big Green Lantern fan. And then Superman thinks and ponders, and he's like, I don't know, like, what these poor demented creatures mean, but these twisted copies of my friends suck. They don't do anything. He's like, I made an ion pulse cannon from garbage. I just need a heat source to activate it, Bizarro, and that's how we could leave. And he's like, you're getting way weaker, Superman. He's like, I can tell, dude. He's like, everything is getting heavier. This sucks. He's like, are we almost done? And Bizarro's like, yes, I was studying the blueprints again. And I couldn't help but notice one thing, Superman. There's only room for one person on your rocket, not 2. And then Superman's like, I'll be subjecting myself to unimaginable stresses. The chances of survival are slim, even if you had powers like Super Bizarro. And then he's like, why do you feel as if you haven't been listening to me at all? Don't you realize I'd rather take that chance and die than just stay here? And he's like, no, I can't let you risk your life, Bizarro. I can get home safely and I can find a way to come back and get you, so I can promise we'll meet again. But you think of yourself as a flaw or an imperfection. You're proof that Bizarro is getting smarter. So why else did this incredible organism make things like you to see the world and experience the world? And he's like, well, I never wondered it like that. So then they're like, we finished. The ceremony's over. The Almighty is coming to the end. So Superman walks over weakly, and he's like, you guys can't launch without me because they're going to launch the ship now. So they're singing the things, and they crown Lee Raj to go onto the thing. They name him king. And then Bizarro walks up, and they're like, we nominate you to get on the rocket ship and die. And he's like, do you see how much they hate me, Superman? Like, this sucks. If only you knew how it felt to be so completely despised. This is my one and only chance to leave this horrible place forever. So it looks like he's gonna twist him. He's gonna backstab Superman. And he's like, you know what? You know, I want that. I want to have respect like you, a place where I belong. But what if I found out that I was just as lonely on your world as I am everywhere else? Let me help you out, Superman. We're almost there. I gotta tie you up. And he's like, did you manage to take a look at my work after all of this? I only need some heat to activate this. And Superman's like, your writing has unique qualities, Bizarro. All these wonders, all that you've seen, you need to keep up the story of your Bizarro home. Tell how they made the rocket ship out of garbage. Shoot the traveler home. And then, of course, Barry, I can't even say it's Barry. The Bizarro Barry comes up and he's like, see, no secret weapon. Here is the flame. And he's like, I am everything freaky. And then while Bizarro is trying to light it up, the light goes out and he's like, oh, this sucks. I messed up again, Superman. He's like, no. Super Bizarro, am no me to blame you weaker than all of that, and I think it hurt me. Happy Bizarro's day. Let me stay here forever. And then Bizarro's like, okay, I send you away. And so he ships him out. And yeah, they're gone. He's like, hello, you. Throws him. Hello and good riddance. Bye, Superman. And then we see on Quentin's little thing, it's still the Underverse, and he's like, the Bizarro Earth has gone beyond the range of our instruments, down into the Underverse, through the cold layer where time stands still, and the beyond into the blazing unknown below. Superman saved us all, but he's gone. I'm sorry, Miss Lane. And they zoom in on the little Underverse, and then we end it with Bizarro saying bye, and then everybody just collapsing because it's the All Night. And that's issue 8. So thank you for watching. We will do 9 and 10 next time. We only got 2 more after this. Oh my gosh. So thank you for watching. Peace out. Bye-bye.